Yo, what's going on, guys? Your boy Uch, and real quick, I wanted to talk to you guys about something that I don't think I've ever mentioned that I had interest in. I don't think ever really, and I remember seeing this a long time ago. Probably not that long ago, but this is kind of one of those custom projects that a company by the name of Analogue decided to start up, and it's basically a handheld system that is supposed to kind of, I guess, just show appreciation for retro handheld gaming. And I think the concept and the idea is actually really cool. But I wanted to make a video about it, just kind of going over it a little bit and going over some of the features and then kind of giving my take or just my thoughts in general on how I feel about the Analog Pocket. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So if you're not aware, the Analog Pocket is literally, as you see on the screen, it's essentially basically in the style of like a Game Boy Color or a Game Boy Pocket. And some of the immediate features that I just remember off the top of my head is that it does play Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and Game Boy Pocket games, as well as some other games, and it is compatible with clearly almost 3,000 titles. Now the funny part is, and we're gonna get to that, but there's no emulation. So, like I said, we'll get to that later. So, what makes this thing special? Well, it's designed around a first class 3x5, 615 PPI LCD screen. So these games are gonna look super crisp, and the resolution is very high. It's 1600 by 1440, which is really good. The Pocket has 10 times the resolution of an original Game Boy. So that is something that I guess if you're definitely a handheld gamer or you're a fan of the retro handheld gaming, this might be something that you'll be interested in. But again, like we're gonna get into price and all that once we get closer towards the end. The display itself is even made from Gorilla Glass, which is really good glass. So there's never been a display this advanced in a video game system, right? They do have adapters, so that way you can play Game Gear games, Neo Geo Pocket Color, and Atari Lynx titles, which is pretty neat. I've never had any of these consoles myself, so I mean, if you want to date yourself, then hey, feel free to blow up my comments and tell me about all the games that I missed out on when I wasn't even alive at that point in time. But yeah, this is something that this part that we're gonna get into right here is something that I'm not gonna really go over too much because again, I'm not a producer. But the Analog Pocket has music features built in, so that way you can literally create music based off of the sounds that come from the games that you have in the system. So I mean, lots of information on here, but for the sake of this being just about the gaming aspect of it, we're just gonna skip over this part. USB-C cable, boom, for the link, right? So that's pretty cool. It does have a sleep and wake feature, so to me this is almost like a Nintendo Switch, except it's just for Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Pocket, and the other cartridge-based games that I mentioned prior. In concept, it is essentially like a Switch, except in the style of that classic Game Boy feel, where you press the power button and the Pocket will suspend gameplay and enter a low power sleep mode. You press the power again to wake it up and pick up where you left off, similar to how the Switch is, which is actually a pretty cool feature. It also has display mode, so I guess if you're looking for that classic feel, you want to look at it from how it used to look on your old original Game Boy Color, Game Boy, and Game Boy Advance, then you do have the original display modes intact. Okay, so I personally think that this is a pretty cool concept. It's a cool system. However, there is still no release date on this. They're only going to start pre-orders very soon. I believe the date is August 5th, if I'm getting that right, but we'll make sure to get that right by the end of the video. They also has and this is, more reason why I'm saying that this is basically like a Switch inspired version for classic cartridge based games, is simply that it has a dock. Like, you can dock this thing. You could just see right here, there's an HDMI port right there, USB slots, so that way you can actually connect USB controllers to this thing. Says right here that sync up any wireless 8-bit DO, Bluetooth, or 2.4G controller directly to the dock for wireless play. Up to 4-player support. You can connect controllers directly via wired USB 2. So 8-bit DO, I can definitely attest to. These are some pretty dope controllers. 8-bit DO have worked with me in the past. They sent me the I think it was the SNES wireless controller. It's a really, really nice controller. I've used it on PC, and it's good to know that you can use it on this. If again, like, if you're a handheld enthusiast, this is most certainly the product for you. And the fact that it does come with a dock, so that you can even stream games stream your old cartridge based games. Like, you don't really have to rely on ROMs anymore, which, I mean, ROMs are definitely convenient, and obviously it's legal to have backups of your own stuff. However, I know, it's a very touchy subject, and I mean, I'm sure people will talk about it openly, but I'm not really going to right now. So you can connect up to 4 pockets. And I actually really appreciate this feature, having that whole link cable kind of feel. That's pretty dope to have. There's a bunch of accessories according to this little thing right here, that they have like a hard case already for this. I can't tell. I think this is only just for travel. Once it's enclosed, as you see on the display right there, I don't think you could play it encased. It's just for travel. Another really cool feature that this thing has is the fact that you can make your own games using the GB Studio. It's a built-in software feature that this console comes packaged with. So they partnered with GB Studio, so you could bring your game ideas to reality with zero programming knowledge. So this is for something like me. If I ever had a game in mind or a concept in mind of a certain game, I could literally make it apparently through this. So I mean, because I definitely have no programming knowledge whatsoever. I took a game creation class once in college. Boy, was it not what I was expecting. So GB Studio is a quick and easy to use drag and drop retro game creator for your favorite handheld video game system. It allows you to generate proprietary .pocket files with GB Studio and run them off your SD card. So if I didn't mention it earlier, SD card slots are available through this system. Now the FPGA, basically this is for like developers. So I know I did see on their Twitter that if you're a developer and you're interested in possibly developing things for this pocket, then they're actually going to send out free developer, I guess, issued pockets to those that are interested in doing that kind of stuff. So these are all of the technical specifications right here, just to kind of list everything. Again, compatible with Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance game cartridges. Has a 3.5-inch LCD screen that with resolution at 1600 by 1440, which, like, again, is very high. Really, really awesome. To have that kind of technology to display your old games like this. 360-degree display rotation. That's wild. Variable refresh display. The rechargeable lithium-ion 4300 milliamp battery, 6 to 10 hour gameplay time, and 10 plus hour sleep time. So that's pretty dope. All buttons are mappable. That's really good to know. Stereo speakers, micro SD card slot, USB-C charging. So again, USB-C, for those that don't know, this is the same kind of wire that the Switch USB cords are using. USB-C is definitely becoming more of a universal type of USB, which I hope everything uses USB. USB-C is really, really dope. And then original style link port and a 3.5 millimeter headphone output. So you can obviously use your own headphones for this. So these are the immediate features. This micro SD card slot makes me wonder if it is possible to run, because if this thing comes with GB Studio, I'd imagine like there'd be some kind of way to get your ROMs or emulators to work on this thing through SD card slot. Because I mean that will really kind of just expand this whole thing even more so if players have that liberty to do that kind of thing. Because I can tell you right now, like, I know that I still have a lot of my old Game Boy Color and Advance cartridges, but do I know where they are? That's a completely different story. So let's see. So here goes the dock. So the dock outputs to 1080p. So again, like, this is definitely an item for streamers as well. I'm already thinking like ahead like that if I was to ever get this. I am interested in this, but we'll see. It's like I said, we'll get into the price. Two USB inputs for wired controllers, up to 4-player support, like I did say earlier. It's DAC compatible, and power dock on from controller, which that's actually a pretty cool feature to have. So I guess if your controller is connected to it, you can power it on for the controller. And then of course they have the adapters, so that way you can play your Game Gear, Neo Geo Pocket, Neo Geo Pocket Color, and Atari Lynx games. Okay, so August 3rd. So I was 2 days off. So pre-order August 3rd, 8 a.m. PST. And then really quick, this is like the little disclaimer at the bottom. Analogue Pocket does not play copyrighted ROM files. It plays legacy game cartridges via the cartridge slot. Okay. Analogue Pocket is not designed using software emulation. It is designed using a specialty hardware chip called an FPGA, which operates on a transistor level implementation of its functionality. Don't know what any of that really means, but for those that do, please enlighten me in the comments below. The Analogue Pocket does not operate utilizing any BIOS files from any other entities. Analogue designs all hardware. All trademarks are the property of their respective owners. Games are showcased to illustrate compatibility with Pocket. The Sega Game Gear, Neo Geo Pocket Color, and Atari Lynx game cartridge compatibility requires cartridge adapters sold separately. The Nano Loop cables are not included with Pocket and sold separately. I believe the Nano Loop is to, I think, Link? Or no, that actually might be for the music portion of this. Let me just read that really quick. So, where was it? Sync 2 Pockets running Nano Loop via original style link port. Okay, so yeah, I was right. So it's not for the music at all. It's actually to, I guess, give you the whole classic feel of having a link cable. This is the pretty much the modern day link cable. Okay, let's get back to this real quick. The GB Studio. Oh, yeah, that's just a copyright term for that. And then Pocket 6-hour battery life is rough estimation with display at default brightness. So this is, like I said, I forgot they don't have the price listed at the front page. See if you hit the pre-order. Okay, so here we go. So there's a black edition and there's a white edition. Both go for $200. So the console itself does not even, it ships next May 2021. So it's still pretty far off. Also, what I thought was actually going to happen with the screen, I thought that the screen was actually going to be this entire LCD display, but when you look at the white one, it's not. It's like it's definitely, you lose a lot of the screen. But again, a lot of these games are, they're old as it is. But if they're outputting to 1080p and they're pretty much outputting the games at higher resolution, even within the system itself, before you even start like streaming or anything like that, it's kind of weird that they decided to stick with this kind of look and not take advantage of the entire screen itself. But that's neither here nor there. I still think the console itself is really cool. As you see, there's a home button, start, select, the 4 face buttons. The 4 face button actually remind me of Super Nintendo buttons because these kind of go in and these are kind of sticking out. D-pad, I mean, looks like it's very much like how like not even like a Super Nintendo, but I mean the D-pad looks pretty standard, to be honest. Nothing too special. Oh, and I guess I was wrong. The dock is separate, so you're only getting the analog pocket, which is the system, and the USB-C cable. That is it. You're not getting anything else with this. All of these other accessories are separate. Obviously, the adapters, the link cables separate, the nano loop cables are separate, and obviously, like I said, the hard case, tempered glass. If you want to, I would definitely recommend getting like something like that. You always want to protect your screens, but the dock itself is $100. So take it for what you will. I think that the concept is really dope, but the fact that it's not really, I'd imagine, because there are cartridges out there where you can actually put like your games on, like your backups. Let's just stick with that. But I'd imagine this would be able to read cartridges like that, but I'm not really sure, and it's not like we'll know until then. But if they're really emphasizing that this is only meant to read your actual cartridges, then I'm not 100% sure about any of those like flash cards or anything like that. I'm not sure if that's the correct name for those items that I'm talking about. I'm also wondering if among those almost 3,000 cartridge games that they were mentioning earlier, if this system supports like the ability to play imported cartridges as well, because as a guy who loves his import games, I definitely have to ask that question, because there's always going to be some kind of games out there that did not come out in the US that I would most likely want to at least give a shot at playing on this. For the $200 price point, I'd probably be more inclined to just being sold on this completely if it came with the dock. Okay, because like I said, this is essentially a Switch, but with huge emphasis on the classic side of games for literally Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy games, right? And obviously with, if you're getting any of these adapters, you can play your original Game Gear, Neo Geo, Pocket, or Atari Lynx games. This is essentially like, to basically modernize retro Nintendo gaming in, the modern day, right? So again, this is everything about the system. I'll leave a link in the description, so that way you guys can check out the page and check out the music end of it. I think it's really cool. Like I said, I'm interested, but $300, to get the whole, I feel like to get the full experience out of this, the system, you gotta have that dock, and as a streamer, as a content creator, it would be a lot easier to capture footage from this thing with, but you have to have this at the same time. So let me know your thoughts. Pre-orders are going to be up very soon at the time of this recording. Are you going to get one? Should I get one? Do you guys want me to cover it? Anything like that? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, me up on Twitter, all that good stuff. Make sure to follow me on Twitch. You can talk to me about this and whatever other types of games that you're into, especially on the retro stuff. We talk all sorts of things on my channel. And yeah, guys, take care of yourselves. May the power protect you. Keep it locked, loaded right here on UchiGames channel. And I will see y'all next time.